Hi friends, this is Nicole Marguerite. Thank you for tuning into the No Show on my YouTube channel. Sit back, relax, and enjoy this meaningful conversation with this month's special guest. My show shines a light on the good things that are happening in the world that are healing humanity and some of the challenges we will face. I also like to cover topics that are sometimes uncomfortable or difficult to talk about. You know the no-nos in today's modern society. I hope this show will inspire you to advocate for human rights and for equality for all people and spark a love revolution. Let's get this show on the road. My next guest on season 2 of the No Show is Joey Travolta. Joey has been in show business for more than 50 years and is the older brother of John Travolta. Being part of a large family who value diversity and inclusion influenced Joey's life before launching Inclusion Films in 2007. He was a special education teacher and a successful performer and filmmaker. I am thrilled to welcome Joey Travolta to the No Show. Hi, Joey. Thank you for coming on to my show, the No Show. I'm really happy. I'm going to get to know you. And I hopefully we can have some fun today.
I hope so. I know so.
I know so too.
All right. Okay.
Do you mind if I start with the first question?
Yeah, go ahead. You're the boss. I'm here
Okay.
to answer your
There's gonna be
questions.
some fun here and getting excited because I'm excited.
Okay, good. Good, good, good.
You founded Inclusion Films in
Hmm.
2007 and have
Yes.
provided training in filmmaking for thousands of individuals with disabilities.
Yes.
What are some of your favorite moments
Well, I
or
think,
accomplishments from the past 17 years of Inclusion Films?
okay. Well, let me get to the beginning of why I started Inclusion Films.
Okay.
Years and years ago, I was a special ed teacher. So it was in my background. And my dad, when I went off to college, I promised him I would get a degree. I'm the only one in my family that has a degree, and it was in special education. And I was always for the underdog. As a matter of fact, two of my best friends were special needs too, and I was kind of their protector in high school. Um, I was in special ed for 2 years, and I found that I was putting all the money that I made, which wasn't a lot. Teachers need to get paid a lot more than they get paid. Um, I found I would go broke if I continued as a special ed teacher, but I knew someday I would go back. And when I started acting, I had the luxury of starring in my first film. It was a movie called Sunnyside. And I learned everything about filmmaking from watching, from wanting to know what everybody did, what everybody's position, and being the star of the movie, I was on the set all the time. So I learned filmmaking from being there and learning what people did. But the greatest thing about filmmaking is the process of making a film. Everything that goes into everyday life goes into filmmaking. And during the course of this time, I thought, man, this would be a great way to educate people and give people soft skills. So that was the motivation to start it. And I think the greatest is we also do camps and as well as training adults. When the campers that we had when they were little now work for me at Inclusion Films, that's cool. Then I know the system is working, and that's exciting when you see someone succeed and get work on their own too. So that's probably the most exciting is when people get employed. The other thing that it does is my sets are very cool. Um, I've directed probably like 20 films or more now, and I treat my crew like family. Everybody's important, whether you're a PA, whether you're craft service, whatever your position is a part of the family
Yeah.
for the final result. And the program in Bakersfield that Dale O'Prandy runs for me, I've known him since he was 15 years old, and I knew he would be the perfect person to run it. And he's just unbelievable with all the folks and training them and making them feel important and a part of something because you need that. The nice thing about what we do is so we have the camps we do, the workshops we do, but then the production company where we hire the people that we train to give them experience. So if they're learning camera, when I do a camp, if I have a crew of 12, at least six will be have some kind of developmental disability or neurodiverse, we like to say. So it's giving opportunities. It's creating opportunities is what it is.
You worked in film and the media industry in
Mhm.
various roles for nearly 50 years. How
Mhm.
far has the filmmaking industry come in terms of inclusive film sets, and what still needs to be done to create more opportunities for neurodiverse filmmakers?
Well, regional centers, as you know, are the funding sources for people that are neurodiverse. And the Lanterman Regional Center, Diane Anand, she's the one that she approached me and she said to me, and this is back in 2004 or five, I think it was. Maybe it was, yeah, 2004 or five. She said, we're going to have a tsunami and she was talking about autism at the time, of young people with autism that are going to be ready to go into the workplace. And there's nothing for them. People have not opened the doors to people that are neurodiverse. Would you put together, what do you have, because this is the Mecca, Hollywood is the Mecca of the film business. And there's so many different jobs. And before we had even met, I had this concept of doing this practical film workshop, but I always felt that I needed like a feature film to do it. And when I started doing the camps, I found that the process of making a film, whether it's a 10-minute short film or whether it's a commercial, the process is the same. So that's when I pulled the trigger and we did a pilot workshop and it went really, really well. Then it started to grow, and I've had partners all over the state too. But it's taken so many years to break that down. We did a documentary for the Disabilities Council called Let's Work that highlighted these people. And the doors are opening, but they're not opening quite fast enough for me. But doing things like Carol of the Bells, did you get to see Carol of the Bells, by the way?
Not yet, no.
Oh, you have to say it. You have to say it. 70% of the crew is made up of our folks. All got paid, all got to hone their craft. And when people see that they can do this job, they're going to hire more. I know Unilever has a program. Unilever is one of the biggest commercial companies. They have like 400 products that they represent. They started hiring our folks and opening that door and showing them that our folks can do the work and be the best employees that they have. That's you need to create, you need to get those opportunities. And that's what I do every day as I try to break down the barriers of that. So,
Thank you for sharing. I really appreciate that a lot.
okay, no problem.
What advice would you give someone considering a career in filmmaking? and who may be worried about financial, transportation, or other barriers signing up for training? And
Okay.
what about someone who is socially introverted but creative?
hmm well, we're funded through the regional centers. So Inclusion Films, nobody pays to come to Inclusion Films. They're funded by a regional center in the States. Um, and transportation is available and all those things are available. And we're in several catchments around the country. But they need to get into programs. They need to find opportunities, even if they volunteer on a student film or whatever. The more experience you get behind the camera and in the field that you want to go to, whether it be camera, whether it be sound, whether it be editing, you need to be constantly working, but you have to practice the skill and learn. I mean, now you can learn things on internet. You can learn things on YouTube now. I mean, it's really, but there are programs. I know Department of Rehab, they've are working with different organizations to find training programs. But I know what we do, and uh, we've had a lot of success. So
I'm glad that the original centers are funding this.
yeah,
Go to your program and have fun and
yeah,
enjoy this program. And I'm glad there's something out there that you are producing. So
yeah.
thank you.
And the great thing about it, and I've been talking about this for years, is we've worked with one, two, three, five, I think six regional centers now where we're producing content. So if we produce the content, it the crew is guaranteed to have jobs. And we've been doing it with East Bay Regional, with Alta, with Valley Mountain Regional Center, Kern County, East Bay, South Central, all these different regional centers have hired us to do videos.
Yeah.
And that in turn gives our folks, they get paid and they get to hone their craft.
Thank you for talking about that with me.
Yeah.
Um, what are the various skills your students can learn at camp or in other training programs you offer? And how can those skills be applied to other job opportunities?
Well, as I said before, it's the process of making a film. Whether you're going to go into the film business or not, it gives you certain skills to go out into the world. Let me ask you, what are some of the skills you need to go out in the world? You need to be able to communicate, right?
Communicate is a big one for
You
every,
need to be able to collaborate with other people,
yes,
right?
collaborating is a big one.
And you need to uh, have an outcome. Regional centers are always looking for outcome. The great thing about doing a production, you have an outcome, what you do. But all those little skills, those soft skills, we call them, are so important for everything that you do. Everything you, and
Yeah.
acting, you learn to use of words. You learn emotions. You learn all these different things. And every job you go into, if you're going to be a teacher, you have to be able to communicate. And there's just so many things that comes out of filmmaking, whether you're going to be a filmmaker or not. And that's the beauty of the program.
Yeah.
And it's important to feel good about yourself and be a part of the community. Because everything we do when we make a film, we're out in the community. So people are seeing folks that are neurodiverse doing things when we do the productions. And then you have the final product, which is great too. So
Yeah.
it's fun.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing. I feel the same way. Um,
How did you get into this?
my peers helped me, and one of my
Hmm.
drama teachers helped me in high school, my
Nice.
freshman year in high school. So that's when I really started gain my independence and my confidence to be on
Hmm.
a stage. And then when I graduated high school, I did my first speech. And so my passion is really speeches, and presentations and anything to do with that, because I do have a communications degree. I went to college
Mhm.
for 6 years, and
That's fair. Where did you go to school? Where did you
uh,
go?
community college with College of San Mateo.
Nice.
And
Okay.
I really enjoyed that. So I really started honing in my journey then.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
and you see how it helps. You
Yes.
see how acting and performing and doing things like that and being able to show other people, that's the great thing about show business. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You few years back, there was a collaboration. And when people say, what I always do when I keynote speak, I talk about how I'm an opportunist. And I always say, how many opportunists are there in the audience? Nobody raises their hand. And I'm left. I said, if I see an opportunity for a job for somebody, I'm going to go after it because that's my passion. And an opportunity is positive. That's all you're looking for is a foot in the door, give somebody a chance. That's all we ask for.
Yeah.
So they were doing, it was Special Olympics, Best Buddies, and Autism Speak. They did a thing called Delivering Jobs. And Delivering Jobs was a campaign where they wanted to create like 1 million jobs over a 5-year period. And they created, it was a big shoot on 20th Century Fox lot. And they hired all actors that were neurodiverse to play these roles. And they created this utopian world where it was just natural for someone who was different to be there and to work there. And it was just like breathing, just natural. So they approached me and said they knew I trained crew people. And they said, we want to walk the walk and talk the talk by hiring some of your students, and different. I said, well, what do you need? Camera. Okay, check. I got 2 people for camera. Sound. Okay, check. We got someone there. Before we know, they hired 6 crew members to work on the 20th Century Fox lot doing this big shoot, right?
Yeah.
So now this is great. Who's doing your behind the scenes? They said, we're not doing behind the scenes. I said, well, first of all, you're not doing behind the scenes. You're creating this world that isn't real, but you want to show what the possibilities are. I said, but you've hired 6 people that are trained. That is what your message is. You have to do the behind the scenes. So they ended up hiring us to do the behind the scenes. So 6 more people were hired and we did interviews. And this campaign was a very big campaign. The next year, they hired us to do the PSA and the behind the scenes, and more people got work. So it's just those little baby steps.
I like that. You said in a Today Show interview that you must change the way you think about people or disabilities. Can you elaborate on that? And are you referring on focusing on a person's abilities versus their disabilities?
Yeah, one of the things that I love to do at the camps is do interviews. And when we do a camp, I interview 50 people over a 2-day period and ask them questions, ask them their opinions. The way we talk right now is the way I talk to everybody. I would never talk down to somebody. Everybody is my equal. Everybody, everybody deserves a seat at the table. So it's just really, really simple. When someone once said to me, and this was an HR person, how do you talk to somebody with a disability? I go, are you kidding me? I said, the way you're talking to me is the way you should talk to everybody. And
Yeah.
it was very simple.
Yes.
There is no way.
Yeah.
Then the other one was, well, what if we hire somebody and they don't do the job or they can't do the job? Well, you gave them a shot. If they can't do it, We don't want charity. We want opportunity. And that's the difference.
I like that.
Yeah. I just
Uh,
made that up.
I like that. I like that. You have recently finished a 10-part docuseries called Lights, Camera, Friendship,
Yes.
where 11 of the 16 people on the crew are neurodiverse.
Yes.
Tell me more about the project and when we can expect to see it. And will you be premiering it at any film festivals?
Well, we last year we had the first 3 episodes. We premiered that at San Diego Film Festival. And now we have the other 7 done. And our intent is to go out in April, Autism Awareness Month, because we're pooling all our resources, all the different organizations we work with. It's very, very important to get this out. Um, and basically, what it is, we took young adults on the autism spectrum that have trouble, making friends, and we were in 3 different cities. Lodi, California is the first one, Valdosta, Georgia, and also Amelia Island in Florida. They had roommates they never met before. They got money to manage for their expenses. We gave them activities, dance lessons, cooking classes, going out into the community on scavenger hunts, and just made it a fun time for them to meet people they never met before. And the great thing about it is so many of them have formed friendships hereafter. They have Zoom meetings because they're from all over the country. So we wanted, it was kind of a social experiment, and it's worked quite nicely. And we'll probably do something else in the San Diego Film Festival, but we're doing a big blitz in April, Autism Awareness Month. And when I have more information, I'll let you know about that.
Thank you. I just been to San Diego a couple of weeks ago, and I love San Diego. It's my happy place.
Well, maybe if we do something in San Diego, I'll let you know and you'll come down.
Thank you.
Yeah, we could do something like that.
Awesome.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
It will
Yeah.
be.
Okay.
Finally, how can people learn more about inclusion films and how can they get involved?
Well, inclusionfilms.com is the website. As far as anybody listening that has video needs, they can get in touch with us through the email that comes right to me, and let me know what your production needs are, because when you hire us, you're hiring folks that are neurodiverse. And then, yeah, and anybody that's interested in the program, if they're regional center clients, can just get in touch with their regional center. So, that's the best way to do it.
Thank you for being on the show.
All right.
Thank
Well,
you.
so nice to meet you
Nice
too.
to meet you too.
And what a pleasure.
Thank you.
All right.
It's time to reunite to fight for human rights. Here's your call to action. I wanted to talk about a really important day. August 26th is Women's Equality Day. Women's rights are human rights. August 26th marks the 104th anniversary of the adoption of the 19th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution, which guaranteed women the right to vote. It's a day to honor the trailblazing women who came before us, the heroes who risked their lives for more than 100 years during civil rights movement to win us the right to vote. Among the many women who fought to give us this right to vote were Susan B. Anthony, an activist for women's rights; Carrie Chapman Catt, a suffragist and co-founder of the League of Women Voters; Jeanette Winkin, the first woman elected to U.S. Congress. Septima Clark, an educator and civil rights activist who worked to register African American voters. With this upcoming presidential election in November, women's rights are at stake, as women have worked over many decades to achieve true equality. We have seen increasing efforts by lawmakers in the last few years to take away our rights. We must unite and continue to protect our freedoms. Let's unite and use our right to vote, to elect lawmakers who won't turn back the clock on our freedoms. Let's use our right to vote and protect policies that allow us to be truly equal citizens. If you are not registered to vote, visit the website registertovoteca.gov. If you have a disability and need assistance with registering to vote, visit disabilityvoteca.org. The deadline to register to vote is Monday, October 21st, 2024. Let's celebrate Women's Equality Day together and build on the progress women have made over the past 2 centuries. Go out and vote in November, and let's create a world for future generations of women that is fair, equitable, and full of promise. Don't blink, you might miss the rapid fire questions. Ready, set, go. If you were doing the career that you have now, what other career would you do?
I would probably be a special ed teacher. I would have, because that's something that I'm passionate about.
What is the best advice someone has given you?
Listen. You have to listen. Listen before you react. It's important. Listen to what people say, what their needs are.
Who has influenced your life?
My father. He was the best. He was inclusive. That was a gift that he gave all of my siblings, was inclusion. And everybody that had met him or was around him, all my friends, they all loved my dad because he treated people with respect. And it was important. He would listen to what people had to say. Even if it was crazy, he would listen to it, and that's how you learn, is listening. But my dad, definitely.
That warms my heart.
Hmm.
What is something nobody knows about you?
Something nobody knows about me. Oh my God. Oh, that Bruce Willis, on 3 of his movies, I did his voiceovers for curse words. So what they do when there's a curse word, when it plays on regular TV, you have to go in and ADR the line or whatever it is. And one of the movie's last Boy Scout, almost every word out of his mouth was a curse word. And when you see it on regular TV, that's me. I had to imitate him and do that. Someone had said, "Oh, you sound a lot like Bruce Willis." So I did, I think, 3 movies of his where I did his curse words. Nobody knows that.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Since this is the No-No Show, I'd like to ask you what you think is the big no-no in our modern society.
The no-no is not being inclusive. everybody should be included. Everybody should have a voice. A no-no to me is when people don't respect other people. And I mean, we're on this earth for a very, very short time. And to not get along and not hear, it's, that's a no-no to me. That's why my company's called Inclusion Films.
Thank you for sharing that. And thank you again for being on the No No Show.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you. And I can't wait to meet you in person so I could give you a big hug.
And I'd love to
Mhm.
meet you at some point.
We will.